Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing fine, and today we're beginning a new story. It's the Enchanted Profile. Alright, let's do this. There are few Halifas. Women are Shaherazads by birth, predilection, 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 instinct, and arrangement of the vocal cords. Vocal cords. The 1,001 stories are being told every day by hundreds of thousands of wizards, daughters to their respective sultans. But the bowstring will get some of them yet if they don't watch out. I heard a story. Though, of one lady Khalif. It isn't precisely an Arabian Night story because it brings in Cinderella, who flourished her dish rag, in another epoch and country. So if you don't mind the mixed dates, which seems to give it an Eastern flower, after all, we'll get along. In the New York, there is an old hotel. You have seen woodcuts of it in the magazines. Woodcuts of it in the magazines. It was built, let's see, at a time when there was nothing above 14th Street except the old Indian Trail to Boston and Hammerstein's office. Soon the old hostelry will be torn down, and as the stout walls are riven apart and the bricks go roaring down the charts. Crowds of citizens will gather at the nearest corners and weep over the destruction of a dear old landmark. Civic pride is strong in New Baghdad, and the wettest whipper and the loudest howler against the iconoclasts will be the man originally from Terre Haute, whose fond memories of the old hotel are limited in his having been kicked out from its free lunch counter in 1873. At this hotel always stopped Mrs. Maggie Brown. Mrs. Brown was a bony woman of 60, dressed in the rustiest black, and carrying a handbag made, apparently from the hide of the original animal that Adam decided to call an alligator. She always occupied a small parlor and bathroom at the top of the hotel at a rental of $2 per day. And always, while she was there, each day came hurrying to see her many men, sharp-faced, anxious-looking, with only second to spare. For Maggie Brown was said to be the third richest woman in the world, and these salacious gentlemen were only the city's wealthiest brokers and businessmen seeking trifling loans of half a dozen millions or so from the dingy old lady with the prehistoric handbag. The stenographer and typewriter of Acropolis Hotel there. I've let the name of it out, was Miss Ida Bates. She was a hold over from the Greek classics. There wasn't a flow in her looks. Some old timer in playing his regards to the lady said. To have loved her was a liberal education. Well, even to have looked over the back hair and neat white shirt waist of Miss Bates was equal to a full course in any correspondence school in the country. She sometimes did a little typewriting for me, and as she refused to take the money in advance, she came to look upon me as something of a friend and protege. She had unfailing kindliness and good nature, and not even a white-lead drummer or a fur importer had ever dared to cross the dead line of good behavior in her presence. The entire force of the Acropolis, from the owner who lived in Vienna down the head porter who had been bedridden for 16 years, would have sprung to her defense in a moment. One day I walked past Miss Battia's little sanctum, Remingtorium, and saw in her place a black-haired unit, unmistakably a person, pounding with each of her forefingers upon the keys, musing on the mutability of temporal affairs. I passed on. The next day I went on a 2 weeks vacation. Returning, I strolled through the lobby of the Acropolis and saw, with a little warm glow of an old lang syne, Miss Bates as Grecian, and kind and flawless as ever, just putting the cover on her machine. The hour for closing had come, but she asked me in to sit for a few minutes in the dictation chair. Miss Bates explained her absence from and returned to the Acropolis Hotel in words identical with similar to these following. Alright, guys, the dialogue begins after this, and we're gonna start with this dialogue tomorrow on the second part. Thank you for joining me today, and see you tomorrow. Bye.